So it's not all, sunshine and unicorns. Almost every team that I'm working with is asking the question about how and when they should bring team members back to the office. And it's no surprise to me. I mean, a recent Newsweek poll showed that 83% of CEOs want to bring their people back to the office. The leaders, by and large, see this work from home arrangement as something that was temporary and on an emergency basis. And there's good reason for that. If you're an executive leader, having people in the office is good for you. It it helps you to keep tabs on things easily. You don't have to check in with people or reach out or schedule meetings. You can just walk around and kind of see what's going on. Further, you get a sense of who's busy and kind of what's going on in the office just by kind of looking out your window or taking a stroll out to get a cup of coffee. When things are moving quickly, when you're innovating, when you're changing things, it can be great to pull together a meeting and collaborate with some people kind of on the spot or off the cuff. Also, frankly, having a bunch of people in the office, it feeds our egos, right? Like we feel like a big shot when we see all those people out there working busily. And finally, there's an issue of rent. I mean, if you're paying rent on an office and nobody's coming in the back of your mind, you're thinking, hey, that's not a good thing. I'm paying all this rent and we're not even using the office. So there's a lot of reasons that leaders and business owners are thinking about bringing their teams back to the office. A problem with that, however, is that your teams aren't thinking about that. That same Newsweek poll that found 83% of CEOs wanted to bring people back to the office found that only 10% of employees wanted to come back to the office full time. Now, that doesn't mean that they never want to come to the office or don't want to have an office available, but full time back in the office, this is something that employees are seeing as a fundamental change that's happened in the workplace. Remember, there are all those reasons that we wouldn't let employees work remotely before the pandemic. And now we've solved a lot of those problems. People are working very efficiently and effectively from home. They aren't wasting time on a commute. They aren't getting exposed to things that make them sick on public transportation. They're able to tend more to their family and to their kids, in the spaces of their workday. And sure, there are definitely problems. I mean, for many people, not having a separation between home and work has led to people working a lot more. And there are some places where burnout is an issue. Zoom fatigue is something we've talked about for months. So it's not all, sunshine and unicorns, but for most employees, they can see the benefits of having that additional flexibility and having the chance to work from home, if not all the time, at least some of the time. So I think we need to think about what it's going to take to bring folks back to the office. How are you going to, if you as a CEO see it as essential that people are coming to the office, how are you going to sell this decision in a way that's going to make it sound like a benefit to the people that you're bringing back? It's not about productivity. We can't say that we're not being productive. We've run our businesses successfully for 18 months now with people not coming to the office. It's not about collaboration or innovation or culture. Yes, those are challenges in a remote office, but there are a lot of companies who were fully remote before the pandemic and who found ways to deal with all of those issues, who created opportunities for collaboration, innovation, who found ways to be more intentional about their culture, both at a time when we could meet together and then, even when we weren't able to meet together. And so I don't think people want to stay away from each other forever. I mean, there's certainly benefits to be had from meeting face to face, but to say that we're not able to be collaborative or innovative just isn't probably going to hold water for our teams. Further, to say, well, you're coming back to the office because that's how you're going to get to keep your job, also has some problems. There are a lot of businesses, like we said, who are now fully remote. There are more and more jobs that allow for full remote. Some of your team members may have moved outside of commuting range during COVID. And if you're going to allow them to continue to be fully remote, it's going to be challenging to say to the people who live closer that, just because you didn't move, you have to come to the office. So I think we're going to have to do better than, hey, you get to keep your job. I'm also seeing in the recruiting that we're doing that if you're asking someone to come to the office 5 days a week, you're going to have to pay a premium for that. I'm seeing between $5,000 and $15,000 a year salary premiums for jobs that are 100% in the office. So I think rather than trying to go back to the office that you had in 2019, which is not there, right? So many things have changed that we're just never going to have that 2019 office culture again. Instead, we have to think about how we go forward and solve some of the problems that we have. And if what your business needs, if your business requirements are forcing you to bring people back into the office, if that's what's needed for you guys to be successful, then you need to talk about that with your team and really sell them on the idea that this is the right decision for our company. If there are problems that you're seeing with working remotely, we need to work on those too. How can we resolve Zoom fatigue? Do we need to have more phone meetings? Do we need to have fewer meetings altogether? Are there more asynchronous ways that we can collaborate? What will be the role of face-to-face meetings going forward? And the issue of culture and hiring and performance management is something that a lot of us just kind of punted down the road because we felt like this remote work thing was sort of temporary. But I bet if you thought about what if it was permanent, you could come up with some creative solutions that would make a remote situation even better than what you had in the office. Just like remote work makes you more cognizant of what your business processes need to be and how you communicate expectations more clearly. I think that having a remote work environment might make you more intentional about your culture and about your performance management because it is a little bit more difficult than it was face to face. These are all trade-offs, right? There's no one right way to do this. But since we can't go back to our 2019 office, I think we need to think about what is it that we're bringing people back to in 2021? What is the deal that we're making with them? What is it that the company needs in order for us to be successful? What do you want to move forward into?